Welcome to Broadway Girl Bosses podcast. I'm Abby, and I'm the host and creator of the podcast. And today I'm joined by the one and only Reagan Kennedy.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so I've just found you from the Legally Blonde tour side of TikTok with Leah and Jessie Lynn and Hannah. But for those who do not know you, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Reagan Kennedy. I was the dance captain, Universal Swing, understudy Elle Woods, and second ASM on the national tour of Legally Blonde. And then I went and I did Legally Blonde again at Starlight Theater in Kansas City, Missouri this summer. I graduated college in the class of 2022 at the University of Arizona with my BFA in musical theater.
That is so much fun. So something I like to ask is because I'm an aspiring actress, and with just going to high school and then going into finding jobs right after college.
Yeah.
What was your audition story for Legally Blonde?
So for Legally Blonde, I had worked it out with my school and gotten to New York a semester early. And I think I had my first callback for Legally Blonde at the end of March, and another one in April, another one in May, another one in June. You get the point. Until I booked it at the end of August or beginning of September.
So it's been like almost a year since you booked it, or like two.
Yeah, just about a year since I booked Legally Blonde, and then we just closed the show in May.
That was I just loved all the content that came out of the tour. It was like my favorite thing ever. I still go back and watch it.
Yeah, we had a really solid group of people, and I think we were able to do all of that content creation, and it's not something I dabble in so much, but we were able to have a presence online simply because we set the show in a modern day. Yeah. So it was a good combo platter, and we were able to blend all of that pretty beautifully, I think.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'd still go back and watch it, and I'm from Wisconsin, so I couldn't go see the show in Milwaukee because I didn't know it was on tour until 4 months later.
Oh no.
So it made me a little upset, but I'm just glad I got to see just a bunch of clips and backstage stuff. And
yeah,
I wouldn't ask for a better experience.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So like you said earlier, you understudied Elle Woods.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk us through your debut?
Sure. Yeah. So I debuted towards the end of tour. We were in Houston, and I debuted in April. So we had so many COVID cases. We were having a little mini COVID outbreak. And at this point, there are two understudies for Elle Woods. The other understudy had been on just a couple of times, Jessie Lynn Hart, and I hadn't debuted at all. And Hannah Bonnet, who played Elle Woods, rarely called out. Just an absolute tank of a performer, super solid and never needed to. So honestly, by April, I had kind of put it in the back burner of my head because I had so many other jobs. It was never at the forefront of my head. I knew it could happen, but we had found out that morning there were 4 more additional COVID cases, and they sent the in and out, and my name was next to Elle Woods. And I had about 3 hours to panic and re-remember what I could and get into a fitting and into a vocal rehearsal while also leading our blocking put-in rehearsal for all the other understudies I, as the dance captain, had to put into the show. So my debut was chaotic, but honestly, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way, just because of the gratitude I had for the positions I was able to do all at once. And I know that's not a skill that a lot of people even get the opportunity to practice, let alone know if they have that capability. So it was really an important day for me and my confidence, just because at that point I felt like, you know what, I can do it all. Even on the days I feel like I can't, we just did that.
You definitely can, because you've done so much and you've inspired me so much.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely amazing. So what I wanted to ask you was the tour bus, I've heard so many stories about it, but I wanted to ask you, what was your experience with the bus?
I had a pretty positive experience with the tour bus. I, as dance captain and as second ASM, was able to have my own row on the bus, so I know that changes the environment quite a lot. My only thing is I get very car sick very easily.
Me too.
I was up in the front of the bus because of that reason. It's something I had talked to our company manager about in the beginning, and I was like, I just need to be close to the front because I will get sick if I'm in the back of the bus. But other than that, honestly, with my job titles came a lot of responsibility, and I never got to have like a relaxing day on the bus. I was spending all of my time from the second I woke up to the second we got to the show, reblocking that show for that night and typing up notes, or learning a different track, or learning a backstage track, because there were times I jumped into crew tracks as well. So my bus rides were busy, but it made them go by really fast. And like I don't know, I never got the luxury of like sleeping on the bus or watching movies or whatever, but I don't mind the bus. I actually got a lot of really great work done on the bus. I was pretty productive.
That's really nice, because when I went on my school trip for DC, I kind of got how you feel. I can never sleep on like car rides or like planes or any of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I like can not sleep. So I like one day we had to drive from where I'm from to Washington DC, and I did not sleep at all.
No.
It was the worst experience ever, but thank God we got to that hotel.
Yeah, and I will say, like, you get used to it, and it's different because you are so tired. Like, whether you want to sleep or not, you will catch yourself dozing off for like 15 minutes, just because your body is like, especially with the Legally Blonde national tour schedule, was one of a kind. It was really the most jam-packed national tour there is to date, in my opinion. We were doing one nighter after one nighter, and I think the bus could have been really bad, but we made it positive.
Yeah. I heard like a bunch of stuff where it was like the gallery where there were like a bunch of headshots. I heard about that.
Yeah, there was a swing seat row on the bus, which just means that the people that do share a row on some days get to go into a swing seat and have separate rows. One of them did get some fanfic pictures put up. But I never really went to the back of the bus, so I never got to see it. But
I would love that, though. That seems like just such a fun experience.
Like, people move into their little row, though, and they make their little apartments on the bus, and it's super fun.
That sounds like the best experience ever. So, like you mentioned earlier, like right after Legally Blonde, basically, you went over to Missouri. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, Missouri to do Legally Blonde at Starlight Theater.
Yes.
So what were like the differences? Like what were the similarities and differences with that?
I mean, the main difference being that it was a union production versus a non-union production. And when you're sitting in one theater for 4 weeks, it's a lot different than switching it up every single day. Yeah, so there were some qualities that we were able to do just because of how short the run was and that we were in one venue the whole time. So on tour, the biggest thing for me and the hardest thing was like relearning Whipped into Shape. Just because not only did I do Whipped into Shape every night, but I also taught it to everyone coming into our show. So like I had that number really into my bones, and to learn it completely over with a kind of rope I've never jump roped before, that was like the hardest one for me. But in our version on tour, half of it was TikTok filmed. So we got to kind of have more stamina when it comes to the bigger part, and that was not the case. We did the entire number live, which doesn't do much, but it does switch up your grate and your stamina a little bit. Other than that, I think it was just like differences in, not only am I performing alongside super talented people that are my peers, but now I'm performing alongside Broadway stars and like people that have careers I idolize. So that was just the main difference. And it was really wonderful. And to do, I mean, Legally Blonde with the OG Brooke Wyndham as your director is obviously a dream.
Yeah, I read an article about that. I was like, oh my God, I did not know that.
Yes, Nikki Snelson is an absolute dream to work with.
I would have fainted.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. And both are magical to me in very different ways. Obviously, the national tour is my first professional job out of school, and like that will always hold a really special place in my heart.
Yeah, that would definitely be something big for me also. Just like right out of school booking a national tour, I would cry every single day.
Yeah, it's definitely the hardest days on tour. My constant reminder was just luck. Like I was so lucky to be there. And got super lucky that I didn't have to, go through a lot to get there. So, right place and right time. That's
always.
That's all it was.
Always. So, just as an actress, period, I know you get like a ton of really cool opportunities, like you said, working with Nikki Snelson and just. But what is one experience that you think would have never happened without Legally Blonde?
Oh goodness. probably my next job.
Can you talk about that yet?
I can't, but
Yarg.
but if this is coming out, I by the time this comes out, yes, it will probably already be up on my social media.
All right.
But I would say maybe that job.
I'll be patient.
And yeah, I don't know. I think also just like on a more vague sense, without Blonde, I wouldn't have been able to meet all of the supporters we had across the country. And that changed my life. Like getting to, as dance captain, I got to teach a lot of master classes out and about on college campuses or with community theater groups. And that was like the most life-changing experience for me. Some of those children still reach out to me, and some of those professors are like great connections to have. So I think it was just the outreach that a tour gives you was probably the most successful thing it could have given me.
Yeah, just the experiences that just come out of being in the theater industry period are incredible. Just like seeing all these people following their dreams, I'm like,
Yeah.
That's gonna be me one day.
No, and totally. And it's funny because it really just stems down to like being a good person and being you. And my next job, for example, I met the director through our producer and through our company manager for Blonde on the road, and that kind of gave me an in for the audition room, and here we are. So you never know who you're gonna meet.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a good person and you're a hard worker, it's half the battle.
Yeah, definitely. So we are on to our final question. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right. So just where can people find you to learn more about you and you outside of Blonde and outside of the acting world?
A shameless self-plug.
Yes.
My primary social media is definitely Instagram. I'm at _Reagan Kennedy _. That's ReaganKennedy. Additionally, on TikTok, official Reagan Kennedy. I post on there like very seldom, but people like my content, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. And then I also have a podcast myself, Downstage Center with Reagan Kennedy. You can find it on Spotify.
That is also how I found you.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I've been taking a break for the summer just because I only get a couple weeks off here, but I will jump back in with my next show, and that will be super fun to follow along with. So those are my main. You can find me on YouTube. You can do whatever, but mostly Instagram.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely a pleasure to meet you. I will be following along forever. I will try to be patient for that next job announcement.
Oh my gosh, Monday.
Monday? You promise?
Monday morning, 9 a.m.
All right.
I know, it's finally, I've known for quite some time, so.
That's Monday. How I felt with Leah's too. I felt like she knew for like ever. I mean, didn't say until Blonde was over, and I'm like, come on.
Oh, yeah, yep. That's how we get you. I wish it's unfortunately nothing to do with us. They tell us when we can announce, but
yeah, that makes me sad. That's gonna be the hard part for me. Be like, I want to tell everyone.
if I don't post, it will definitely pop up on your page.
All right,
Monday at 9 a.m.
Alrighty.
I know, exciting.
So excited for you.
Well, keep being you. Keep working hard.
Thank you so much.
Of course, it was a pleasure. Nice to meet you in this format.
It's weird. I tried doing a Zoom call with my first guest, who you do know. I'm not going to spoil anyone because I'm going to do a re-recording.
Oh, okay.
So I tried doing it with them, but I did a Zoom call and I just screen recorded it, but I lost all the audio.
Yeah, Zoom can be tricky.
It was so sad. I cried.
It's great though, like if you are, I mean, you made your own separate Instagram for this, so like it's great for like getting your little thumbnail picture to like produce it, but beyond that, yeah, it's not the best for recording.
Not the best.
Well, your audio sounds great though. Are you?
Thank you. I'm in my basement.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have no echo at all. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Alrighty,
nice is all. To meet you. Can't wait for your career to launch off.
Thank you so much. All right, make sure you guys tune in next week.
Bye.